Once upon a time, in a faraway land where the sun smiled upon emerald fields and the moon serenaded the starlit sky, there existed a magical bedtime train known as the Snooze Express. This wasn't your ordinary train, for it was powered by the laughter and joy of children, chugging along on tracks woven from the tendrils of dreams and the whispers of slumber. Every night, as the clock struck the hour when skies turned a soft indigo, the Snooze Express would emerge from the fog of dreams, its engine puffing plumes of simmering stardust. Its carriages were painted in hues of twilight blues, sunset oranges, and the rosiest of pinks, adorned with images of unicorns, dragons, and other mythical creatures. The train's gentle, soothing whistle was a lullaby in itself, beckoning young dreamers to embark on a journey into the realm of fantasy. In this world, where the bedtime clouds were spun from the fluffiest cotton candy and the rainbows served as bridges to the sweetest dreams, children would find comfort in the arms of imagination. Each night, the train conductor, a jovial fellow named Mr. Whiskers, with his silvery beard and twinkling eyes, would tip his cap to the parents and whisper, "Worry not, for your precious ones will return by dawn, their hearts brimming with stories and their minds filled with wonder." The children, wearing their coziest pajamas and clutching their beloved stuffed animals, would scurry aboard, their laughter fueling the engine, their eyes wide with awe. With a hiss of steam and a chime of bells, the Snooze Express would begin its enchanting voyage, gliding smoothly into the night. As the train traveled through the starlit realms, the children would peer out of the windows, gazing upon a sky painted with constellations that told ancient tales of heroism and magic. They would gasp in delight as they passed through the Milky Way, which, in this dreamy domain, was a river of creamy white chocolate that looped around candy plants and marshmallow moons. The first stop on the journey was the Forest of Whispers, a place where the trees were wise and could speak in soft murmurs. Their leaves glowed with a gentle bioluminescence, casting an ethereal glow upon the paths below. The children would disembark and dance with the fireflies, who guided them to a clearing where fairies flittered about, their wings a dazzling array of colors. The laughter of the children would mingle with the tinkling of fairy bells, creating a melody that resonated through the heart of the forest. Back on the train, the journey continued to the next destination, the Rainbow Bridge. The bridge arched across the sky, a spectrum of colors so vivid that it looked as though someone had spilled a painter's palette across the heavens. The children walked across the bridge, their fingers traveling through the colors, each touch sending ripples of light like skipping stones on water. Once across the bridge, they arrived at the Crystal Lagoon, where mermaids and mermen lounged on rocks and sang songs of the sea. The waters of the lagoon were clear as glass, with fish that looked like living jewels darting beneath the waves. The children laughed and splashed, while the merfolk taught them how to blow bubbles that turned into floating orbs, reflecting the world in wondrous hues. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, Mr. Whiskers announced that it was time to visit the Cavern of Echoes. Oh, what a sight it was! The cavern was filled with crystals that hummed with a strange and beautiful music. Each echo carried a dream, a hope, or a wish made by a child from the world above. The cavern walls shimmered with the soft light of the crystals, and the children's whispers became part of the melody, their secrets safe within the heart of the earth. Aboard the train once more, the next stop was the Valley of Giggles. Here, the hills were alive, not just with the sound of music, but with laughter that bubbled up from the ground like a natural spring. The children tumbled down the hills, giggling uncontrollably as they rolled through the tickling grass. Even the grumpiest of trolls, who lived under the bridge, couldn't help but chuckle, his frown turning upside down for the first time in centuries. As the night deepened, the children's yawns became more frequent, and Mr. Whiskers knew it was time to guide them to one last destination before returning home. Ahead lay the Cloud Castle, a magnificent structure floating among the bedtime clouds. It was here that the Sandman resided, the keeper of sleep and guardian of dreams. The castle was a marvel, with towers and turrets that reached towards the sky, each brick woven from the softest tufts of cloud. The Sandman greeted the children with a warm smile, his cloak sparkling with grains of golden sand. He invited them to explore the castle, where each room was themed with a different dream. There was the room of endless books for the little bookworms, the room of musical instruments that played themselves for the budding musicians, even with a room of puzzles that changed as you solved them, for those who loved a challenge. Finally, as the first light of dawn began to peek over the horizon, the Sandman sprinkled his sand into the eyes of children, who were now ready to drift in the most peaceful of slumbers, with hearts full of new tales to tell and heads heavy with sleep. They boarded the Snooze Express for the last time that night. The train chugged its way back into the waking world. The children nestled in their seats, dreams already dancing in their heads, as it pulled into the station, and each child was gently awoken by Mr. Whiskers. They found themselves back in their own beds, with the first rays of sun kissing their cheeks. And so, the night's adventure came to an end, but the magic of the Snooze Express lived on in the laughter, stories, and the dreams of children. Every night, as they lay their heads upon their pillows, they would listen for the distant whistle of the train and smile, knowing that the realm of fantastical creatures in bedtime clouds made of cotton candy awaited them once more, just beyond the veil of sleep. "Good night, my little dreamers," the parents would whisper, tucking them in, for the Snooze Express will return with more wonders for you to explore. And with that, the children would close their eyes, a soft laugh escaping their lips, the perfect fuel for another night's journey on the most magical train of all.